Hello. Today I'm going to present my ethical dilemma of the herb. Imagine this. You're in the Amazon searching for a cure for your parents' rare and lethal disease. They will 100% die from this disease unless they get the cure. However, there's only one instance of this cure in this entire world, and it's found on a cliff deep within the Amazon surrounded by rocks. You first have to break the rocks with some tools to get to the plant. However, shortly after you do that, the cliff will collapse into the river below it. This river is the drinking supply for an indigenous tribe of 900. However, the cliff also has volatile chemicals within it, and it will infect and make the drinking supply lethal if it collapses. Earlier, on the way to the cliff during your journey, it was this same tribe that rescued you from a lethal animal attack, giving you sustenance and saving your life. However, since they're cut off from modern society, there will be no trace of their death, and no one will know that it was you who was responsible for it. Would you go for the plant? There are three different scopes you can analyze the situation with. For example, a utilitarian would argue that the lives of 900 outweigh the lives of two. An egoist would say that their parents hold more value than 900 random people to them. And a deontologist would say, why would I murder 900 people if I wouldn't do it normally? If we analyze each choice, if we analyze the utilitarian choice, we see that preserving 900 lives is a much more noble cause because it values each life at an equal value for them. However, if you look more deep into this, it disregards any sort of personal connection and it needs the individual to act saint-like, disregarding any sort of biases that play in their mind. A deontologist that is against murder would also say that to act dutiful, which is to not murder people, they would not kill the 900 because it would misalign with their duty. However, if you ask an egoist would say that the guilt of killing 900 people will not compare to the guilt of them having the death of their parents on their hand. Because of this inaction, it would have more guilt to them because their parents hold more value. After all, they're the people who raised them. Versus these 900 random people who, first of all, will have no legal repercussions against you, nor social, since no one will know their debts. If we look at this from a virtue ethics standpoint, a virtuous person would not break the cliff, as that would probably fall within the trait of a selfish, self-absorbed, greedy, and self-minded person with no regard for others and their lives. If the number was less, however, virtue ethics would probably change a little bit because of the value of family. The final question I leave with you guys is, does the personal connection between individuals justify the weighting of the value of a life? Thank you for listening. I'll now be taking questions.